Here's a channeling by a woman called Brenda Hoffman. And I think she channels her higher self. And I think it's very wonderful. So I'll read it for you now. Dear ones, you are shifting from acquiescing, I think it's called, to the needs of others, to informing them of your thoughts and feelings. You are no longer the agreeable mind that others want you to be. Of course, this information is not new. What is new is that you no longer feel guilty about your truth. You no longer wonder if someone's feelings are hurt or worry that others might not care for you if you do not participate. So it is you are feeling feisty, adhering to your inner principles even though others might be angry or bewildered by your actions. For eons you have known you are powerful, but you use that power to fit in instead of becoming. You are an easy target for anyone who needed something you could or would provide as a caretaker. Now that you are exploring your inner power, you are stronger. You are a stronger, more vocal being. Someone who no longer sifts through the needs and thoughts of others before finding your voice. So it is others are surprised, and not always pleasantly so, by your new demeanor. Those impacted by your new voice might try to return you to who you were, and that is when you will surprise yourself and others with your declaration of freedom. The freedom to be without the constraints of who others want or need you to be. This freedom, this voice will be raw without the sugarcoating of social graces. You are exhausted by the current earth chaos. So it is you are unwilling to roll back your thoughts and beliefs to those which better suit those around you. You are rapidly discovering that trying to fit in, to be the nice boy or girl you were trained to be, is more uncomfortable than you ever imagined. A bit like those musically inclined finding it painful when they hear the wrong note in a song. Those around you will want you to return to the kind, gentle person with whom they have always interacted. You are the caretaker of the world, are you not? For that is what they expect of you, and that is what used to give you comfort, hiding behind a false caretaking curtain as you ignored your needs and powers. A bit like Clark Kent never entering the phone booth to become Superman. Now you superwoman and men, superwomen and men, not only want to be discovered, it is necessary that you are. For the world, the universes are waiting. Likely, you have no interest in saving the world. By being yourself, you are saving the world. For until you force others to take responsibility for themselves, you will continue to pretend to be someone you are not. Humans do not change until the discomfort is painful enough to do so. If you continue to catch others when they fall, they will never be uncomfortable enough to change. Just as it is not appropriate for you to always pick up your children's toys because it's easier, it is also no longer appropriate to ensure that others do not fall or fall. You are only responsible for you, and the same is true for all. So it is that you are feeling exhausted, emotionally drained, even though your caretaking role no longer feels right. Others fully expect you to continue, so they do not have to take responsibility for their actions. Imagine those following you as children wanting you to pick up their toys, just as was true for you when you started your transition. At the beginning of your transition, you constantly asked for direction and assistance, crying out that this transition was too difficult for you to bear. We countered with, "You're your own guru," and thousands of other words encouraging you to become you. So it is now that those following want you to do their work for them. They will try many emotional ploys to once again ensure you are engaged in their life. For how much easier it would be for them if you guided them through the rough parts by holding their hand and using your super duper sword of light to cut through their pain. You wished for the same throughout much of your journey, and even though we often wanted to make it easier for you, we knew doing so would merely prolong your pain. So it is for you now. You are no longer caretakers, your brothers or sisters' keepers. You are you, with new powers to explore, powers that are you being you, without the filters of who society or those following want you to be. All involved in this transition must find their own voice. Such will only happen if all are allowed to do so. But be forewarned. But we forewarn you that just as was true for you in your dark night of the soul and phases thereafter, those following will expect you to help them carry their burdens. That is not your role. Your role is to allow them to see and sense the outcomes of daring to be free. You are not a caretaker. You are not their parent. You are not their guru. Your role, and only role, is to be free of the social and personal constraints that dim the light necessary to shine more brightly than hate and fear. Allow those following to find their place and their joy, for their joy is no longer your responsibility, even though you may have played that role in this life and many others. They must find their path, which they cannot do if you carry them on your path, slowing and halting your growth. So be it. Amen.